What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name's Kenny. You probably didn't know that because I don't think I got any subscribers yet. Anyway, if you're here, you're wanting some food delivery type tips, you're in the right place. Let's jump right into it for today. I want to hit on just some things I've learned. I've been doing DoorDash for 6 or 7 weeks now, and I want to give y'all some of the things that I've sort of learned the hard way along the way to hopefully help out some new dashers. Maybe you've been doing it a while. Maybe you can take some of these tips for what they are. Keep in mind, all markets vary, and because something works in my market doesn't mean that it's going to work in yours, but some of these tips will apply nonetheless. So let me start off with your acceptance rating and your own worth. I've come to the conclusion that your acceptance rating doesn't really mean anything. Honestly, I think that top dashers are, and this is a new conclusion that I've come to, I think top dashers are punished for being top dashers. I think that they are looked at as the suckers when it comes to corporate DoorDash, because for a while I was taking a bunch of shitty orders that were costing me money to take. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm now cherry picking. We're going to see how that works. I'll do a future video on that later. But know your own worth, whether that be hourly, whether that be by the mile. Know what you want to make. Don't compromise. If you can't make it in the market that you're in, try a different market. Try a different delivery app. Know your worth. Don't do something for free. Definitely don't go into debt doing this, because these companies, if you let them, they will do this to you. So know your worth. Second point that I want to make is gear. Now, anything that I try to do in life, I have a really good or bad or otherwise, I go all out. But some of the gear that I have saves me a lot of headache. It saves me a lot of aches and pains. So what I've done is I've gotten a lot of gear. I sort of regret now because most of my gear is actually DoorDash merch, and I wish I wouldn't have done exactly that because I don't want to be doing Uber Eats and be packing things in with DoorDash merch, but it is what it is. But what I've done is I've got regular delivery bags, I've got a massive pizza bag, I got some regular DoorDash pizza bags, I've got the catering bags. So my catering bags, what I've done is DoorDash will send these to you, and they just sort of fold up. There's nothing rigid inside about them, and I take a lot of grocery Walmart orders. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've lined my bags with this PVC, which gives them some rigidity and keeps the structure from breaking down on me. I've also gone in and shrink wrapped and bubble wrapped inside to give it some added insulation. So these help great with grocery orders. I've also got this, I'll show you my little dolly. I've got a little breakdown. Can you see that? My little dolly here. A little breakdown dolly. So this also allows me to stack these bags on top of each other and wheel them right up to the customer's door. That way I'm not making 50 trips back and forth to the car when I get these larger grocery orders. So one of the other tips I'll give you, I don't know it. In my market, Arby's cups, when somebody orders a large drink from Arby's, they're so massively large that there's no drink carrier, no cup holder that's going to hold these things. They don't even have cup holders that'll hold them. So I just had this, actually my last delivery, where I had this big Arby's order. And I had 2 of these large cups that you can't put anywhere, and I don't want to hold this between my legs the whole time I'm delivering. So I keep a couple of USPS postal boxes with me, and oftentimes I can just put these in here as a barrier, where I can put a cup in there and sort of box it in to keep it from moving around, and then put another bag there, so everything's sort of locked in place. So again, having the right bags. I do not advise delivering without a bag. I try to keep my car as clean as possible. I try to represent myself and represent DoorDash well. But things happen. I don't want somebody, I drive a convertible. Sometimes I let the top down. Anything can get into a normal bag. So when I'm keeping it in, not only is this keeping things hot or cold, and I do try to keep those separated, the hot and the cold stuff. but it's also keeping any contaminant that might be in the air. You know, I got a big dog that rides with me sometimes, and granted, I try to vacuum my car out before every shift, but things happen, and if it's in this bag, the odds of some kind of contaminant getting into somebody's food is a lot less likely. So this is something that I would highly recommend. And again, you know, all the added and the structure, and that's all something that I've done. But again, I recommend it because, you know, it keeps the bags from breaking down. I can pack this full of gallons of milk, and this isn't going to collapse on me. So, and again, I've gone all out. I realize a lot of people can't afford to do that, but if you can, it's a good idea. One of the other things I've done is I've ordered these stickers on eBay from a fella, and they've gotten a little wet. I need to reorder me some. But oftentimes DoorDash will trick you into taking something that's a cheap order. You know, and most of the times they'll do it by stacking an order. So just because they send you a secondary order and it says en route, that does not mean that it's en route. Oftentimes, and I would say 2/3 of the times in my market, it's going to 2 separate ends of town. The reason that they're able to do this, though, is, again, in my circumstance, most of the time you've got one order that tips really well and one order that doesn't, and so they can't find anybody else to take this, so they try to get you to, they tell you it's en route with this good tipping order, and they try to get you to take it. And I still fall for this sometimes. I'm still learning myself. So what I've done to combat that, though, is there's this guy on eBay that sells stickers that if it's a good tip in order, obviously I won't use them. But if I notice that there's not a tip on the order, or more than likely not a tip on the order, I'll put these stickers on the bag sometimes. This one, I have to say, drivers rely on tips to cover gas and expenses. The delivery/service fees primarily go to the company and not the driver. If you're happy with our service, please remember to tip so we can stay on the road and be available for more deliveries. This one is just a thank you. Thank you. Drivers are not permitted to break seals or open bags/boxes to verify contents. Please contact support if there are any issues with your order. You forget to tip, need to increase your tip, or just prefer to tip after delivery. Scan your preferred code to access my virtual tip jar. And on here I've got my QR codes for both my Cash App and my PayPal, so they can send me a tip that way. I've had a couple customers actually do that, so you know, I can honestly say that at least to some degree works. If you want to order some of those, there's a guy on eBay. It is Rating Rolls. It's RATINGROLLS. He's got a variety of them. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to order some new ones because I like to be a little bit of a comic sometimes, that say family kidnapped by ninjas, need tips for karate lessons. I just thought that was comical, and I think customers would be a little bit more acceptant of something like that. I think these might come across a little rude at times. So anyway, check that guy out. So moving right along, third tip I'm going to give you: get a mileage tracker. I use Gridwise. So far seems to work out well for me, but there's a million of these online. Try out a few of them, see what works for you. At the end of the year, you can thank me. Give DoorDash feedback. I do this as often as possible. It's hard to do during rush sometimes, but anytime I've had issues with an order, call up support. If you know, I did it this morning where they were just sending me crap runs. Took my acceptance rating from almost 70%, it's knocked me down below 45% at this point. And I called them. What's going on? You know, I'm top driver. I'm trying to stay in that status, but I'm not going to take things that are going to cost me money. Quit sending me. You know, if you send me out of 10 orders, you know, you send me 2 or 3 that aren't worth it, well, that's fine. I can keep that percentage rate. But when you're sending me 10 orders or 20 orders in a row that have no tips on them, and they're going so far that it's costing me money, I'm not going to take them. But that's not fair to us. So anyway, I call them. I call them frequently. If they don't know what's going out here on the road, we can't expect them to change. So call them. Let them know what's going on, good, bad, or otherwise. I don't know if they're actually taking that stuff to heart, but sometimes it makes me feel better. Send the customer a message. Anytime I pick up, and DoorDash makes this difficult nowadays with their new setup where they're sending you new deliveries in the midst of deliveries and all this. I mean, we've got a lot going on behind the wheel, obviously, already. But take the time when you pick up an order, pull up, stop for a second, send the customer a message, and at least let them know you're on your way. Hey, I've received your order. I'm on my way. A lot of times, especially if there's a wait, I'll tell them, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting. I'll send you another message as soon as I'm on the way. And a lot of times, hey, will you double check this or make sure I got sauces or whatever the case is, which only makes you look better in the end. So always send a customer a message. I find more often than not that it's very, very helpful, and you might get some special instructions out of it. This might not be true in your market. I know a lot of people hate Walmart, they hate Walgreens. Walmart, Walgreens, especially if I notice it's just 1 or 2 items, I almost always take it. I mean, unless there's just no tip involved, I almost always take Walgreens. I can't tell you how many, in the 6 or 7 weeks I've been doing this, I cannot tell you how many times I've gone into Walgreens now and gotten a pint of Ben & Jerry's and taken it 2 miles for 10 or 15 bucks. I don't know what it is with Ben & Jerry's, but Walgreens orders. I mean, you're in, you're out, you're a couple miles, 10 bucks in your 10, 15 bucks in your pocketbook. Might not work in your market. Again, this is my market, but 9 out of 10 times I'm taking Walgreens orders. Let's see, what else have I got here? Take notes on merchants. Take notes on who's fast getting orders out. I would much rather take an order that's $5 or $6 that I can get in and get out and get delivered quickly, rather than take a $15 order that I'm waiting around for 30 or 40 minutes on. I want to keep my wheels moving. I don't want to be standing around, because if I'm standing around, I'm not making any money. Take notes on your merchants. It's going to take you some time to figure out how to maximize your profits, and if I'm being honest, I'm still learning these things myself. But in my main market, I've kind of figured out what times a day are good to pick up from what merchants, because oftentimes first shift hits home runs, and night shift is just lazy and doesn't get anything out. And it's obviously different merchants, different markets, they're all going to be different. But for me, I won't take a Wendy's order in my area. The orders are always wrong, they've always been complained, and I'm waiting for 30 minutes or more in a drive-through line because their lobby's closed. So again, take notes. That way you know what's going to be worth your while, what's going to kill your time frame. It's always good to know. Cleanliness. Now, I'm not the cleanest guy in the world. I won't be the first one to admit that. But I do stop at the car wash just about every day before I get going. I get my car vacuumed out, freshened up, cleaned up. I try to present myself well. I've actually got my little DoorDash cap back here, if I'm actually on a, get my little thing going. Cleanliness. I mean, just try to keep your car clean. You don't want, it's back to contaminating food. I have seen DoorDashers out there with trash literally up to their window sills. If somebody ever delivered my food like that, I would be irate. We're in the food service industry. Let's try to act like it. Again, I'm not the perfect example here, but effort. So, the other thing I've noticed helps, I run 2 phones. The reason I do that is DoorDash glitches sometimes. So anytime I get an order, the first thing I do is I program the address into Google Maps in my other phone. That way, if DoorDash crashes or I have an app problem, I have a backup plan. I can still get the food to the customer and deal with the app glitching after the fact. I know it's an added expense, but for me, I've found that it's worth it. Now, I have a question. Now, I know Pete with Paid to Drive, I think he's sort of following my channel now, and possibly he could give me some information on this. So, if Pete, if you're watching, here's a question. I know I've sent this question to you before, but I'm not real good with explaining things while I'm writing them out, so maybe this is a better platform to ask this question on. Let me get my DoorDash pulled up here so it's easier for me to explain. So, I run in several different markets, mostly around the Louisville, Kentucky area. But I live between two markets in two different states. So, let me just show you here. So, here's where I am right now. I don't know if this can be seen. All right, so I'm in right around LaGrange, Kentucky. Now, right up in here around Bedford is where I live, and then you go on up here a little bit, and there's Madison right up here. Now, Madison is a DoorDash area, but because it's in a different region, I guess, I cannot see what's going on in Madison. I cannot see if they're busy or whatnot. And I live right here, basically right between LaGrange and Madison. So my question to you all is, how do I see both of these areas at the same time? So I'm throwing some tips out there for you all. Hopefully I've got some people that are watching that are a little more experienced than me that can help me answer that question, because I would like to wake up in the morning and be able to open up my DoorDash app and look and see what the main areas around me are doing before I make a decision on where I go and dash for that day. So anyway, guys, wow, this has turned into about a 20-minute video. I apologize for the length. If you like the tips, if you like the information that I'm sharing, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment. Give me some constructive criticism. Again, I'm still kind of new at this. Until then, we'll see y'all next time on the next video. Thanks for watching.